In October 2013, NBA 2K released its first My Career, and in this My Career, you'd play through the Rookie Showcase, a single game between you, Jackson Ellis, and a bunch of real-life draft prospects in order to increase your draft stock. They all competed in this menial game to show that they were better than their peers. This is the best way to describe Summer League. Summer League for the past few years has been glorified as the first look of the future, as players from overseas, college, the draft, the G League and all over the globe would compete for their spot in the NBA, and theoretically, the person who wins the MVP should be the future of the NBA. But the last 5 Summer League MVPs have been so disappointing it begets worry for the league, with the last one being the most disastrous. As the kids say these days, not too much on Murray, man. While he won the 22 Summer League MVP, he's only been in the league 1 year. We can't expect him to change the world. Yeah, as a 4th pick in the draft, a lot is expected of him. But so far, he's kinda delivered. Paolo Banchero was far and away the best rookie in the class, but for the title of second, I don't think he was competing. While he played the second most games of any rookie with 80, leading to him averaging 12, 5 and 1 on below average splits, he finished 5th in Rookie of the Year votings. Now, while Rookie of the Year isn't an indicator of who the best rookie is per se, when you play practically every game, we can get an idea of your current abilities, which compared to a top 5 pick was underwhelming. How do I explain this? Yeah, he played well enough to consistently start, but in one season, all he truly showed was potential, not his dexterity. In contrast, look at Davion Mitchell's rookie season. 13th pick, led his team to the second round, that is skill plus potential. LaMelo Ball, 3rd pick, 1 game away from the playoffs. Skill plus potential. Murray just showed potential, and that left a lot to be desired, which is probably why in the playoffs, all his stats dropped to a measly 10, 6 and 1 on worst splits, despite the fact that it was probably their easiest matchup, and they were favoured to win. But it's only 1 season, so again, not too much on Murray. Straight out of the bubble, the league created new history. For the second time in NBA history, co-MVPs were handed out, a testament to how good both winners were. So what happened to Davion Mitchell and Cam Thomas? Davion Mitchell was the backup guard for the Sacramento Kings, a team that seemed to have no future in sight, and in his rookie season he played his role well, averaging 12, 4 and 2 as a 6'1 guard. Standard rookie numbers, but his talent on the defensive end is where he stood out, receiving comparisons to Ty Lawson, Patrick Beverley, Gary Payton, and other legendary defenders. You can't come in and have your nickname be Off Night unless you're applying major pressure, or you suck. And while his defensive prowess translated from college, in his second season, his role on the team drastically diminished. His minutes were practically cut in half and he barely played in the playoffs. Despite playing 80 games the entire season, he only started 9 and played above 20 minutes 23 times. Maybe it was to make room for the new guy, or maybe he just didn't develop enough in the off-season. All I know, his future on the Kings is looking shaky, bro. On the other hand, Cam Thomas has had an interesting journey. After winning his half of the co-MVP, his rookie campaign would be similar to Davion's current season, where on low minutes and a high number of games, he wasn't given the opportunity to produce. However, in his current season, despite having a similar stat line to his compatriots, his future looks a lot brighter than Davion's. Because in this current season, he had a stretch that solidified his name not only in the season, but possibly in history, when he became a meme. He also had a stretch where he averaged 40 over 3 games and had 30 points in 3 straight games, and 4 40-point games next to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Now at the fact that the Brooklyn Nets are looking to rebuild, it only looks like his role will increase in this new roster. 2 co-MVPs on 2 different trajectories. Brandon Clarke has fallen into obscurity since winning his MVP in 2019. Now he's just another member of the Bad Boy Grizzlies, which is pretty consistent with his entire career. Already having his rookie season in the bubble year, his presence was outshined by the young phenom that was Jamal Murray. As while Ja was trying to jump over everyone and leading his team to 1 game out of the playoffs, Brandon averaged a steady 12, 6 and 1 on better splits than most. He also did this coming off the bench practically the entire season, averaging 20 odd minutes a game. From there, Brandon never really progressed. In year 2, he dropped by 2 points despite getting more minutes, and hasn't really improved his stats since then. Last year, he averaged 10, 6 and 2, and this year, he averaged 10, 6 and 2, and next year, he'll probably average 10, 6 and 2 as well. Actually, I'll give him 11, 6 and 2, because Ja Morant is not playing next season, but I digress. Sure, he's been a consistent member of the contending Grizzlies, but his role has constantly been overlooked and undervalued. His injuries may have played a part in this because he only played above 60 games once, but I think people simply don't see his usefulness. Yes, his stats don't jump out at you, but off the bench he provides good length, steady defense and consistency. Overall, he became a steady stream of basketball. He can score a bit, he can rebound a bit, he can defend a bit, which combined to make him a key factor to the Grizzlies' success. Otherwise, they wouldn't have extended him. If this video was made 1 season ago, the perception of Josh Hart would be completely different. And if this video was made in 2018, this might be a Josh Hart video entirely. I remember how crazy this nigga went in 2018. Him and Colin Sexton, despite only averaging 22 in Summer League, he had a 37-point explosion in the semi-finals and had multiple 25-plus point games, all for him to average 8 points in the regular season. He was seen as the hidden gem of the Lakers' young core, but we could summarize his stint in LA as simply one of the pieces to get AD. When he got to New Orleans, it was more of the same, but you could definitely see some improvement. His role on the team was more important due to the youth and lowered stakes, and that's probably why in his first season he had career highs in every stat, though he played practically the same minutes. But it wasn't enough to stay on the team, which is why he got traded to Portland, where he did more of the same, which is why he got traded to New York, where he did more of the same. But why has New York altered his perception in the media this highly? Honestly, it was an 11-game stretch. An 11-game playoff stretch where he was probably the second most important player on that team. Initially, his stats look like more of the same, but when you watch the series, his rebounding and hustle carried. He was out-rebounding 2 7-footers on the Cavs, which led to more possessions for Jalen Brunson, and was locking down against the Heat, which kept all the games close. He's had an average NBA career up to this current run. And while no one expects his next season to be a breakout season, if he can do more of the same, this time he might actually stick around. Lonzo Ball has had the most publicized career, arguably after KD, and the result of it is the worst career on this list. In contrast to the previous picks, Lonzo was arguably the best player in his class, and was undoubtedly the most hyped. I stand by the notion that he was the most hyped prospect since LeBron, and while Summer League aided that hype with his MVP, the regular season was a different game, a game he clearly was not ready for. Lonzo not only had a horrible rookie season, but he was religiously targeted and bullied by NBA players and fans alike. Yes, the Lakers fanbase, but honestly, I've never seen someone get turned on so fast. On 34 minutes as the starting guard, he averaged 10 points, 7 assists and 7 rebounds on 35% from the field, 30% from free, 41% from the free throw line, and -11 true shooting at 44%. Yes, throughout the regular season, he showed glints of this Magic Johnson comparison, specifically recording the youngest triple-double ever at the time, but the next season next to LeBron James, he didn't improve. Pause for a sec. I think the 2019 Lakers were worse than the 2018 Cavs, and LeBron's worst roster since he originally left Cleveland. But yeah, Lonzo was arsed in his stint on the Lakers, cost LeBron an MVP, his playoff streak, and consistently only looked like a worse Draymond Green. But then he got to New Orleans, and he became totally different. He gained a new confidence from relieving the pressures of LA, which must have fixed all his issues. His main concern of shooting didn't seem like a concern at all, as he shot almost 40% on 7 attempts from 3. His defense not only translated to this new system, but also improved him, making him a great defender. But not great enough apparently, because Luka Doncic has more all-defensive votes in his career than Lonzo Ball. That's probably why he got traded to Chicago the next offseason. Despite having the best young core in the league, New Orleans didn't see him as a winning piece. And how wrong were they? Not only was Lonzo starting on a playoff team and had all his percentages at an all-time high, he shot 42% from 3 by the way, but he was the reason that team was the 1 seed. Next to DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic, players who weren't considered winning pieces, and low-key aren't, had them as one of the best offenses in the league. On the defensive end, him and undrafted Alex Caruso were the best defensive backcourt in recent history, maybe second to him and Drew Holiday on the Pelicans the previous season. He made a total resurgence in his career, from being called a bust to leading the best team in the East. For it all to go up in flames when he re-injured his knees by them damn shoes. From this surgery, he then required a cartilage transplant and 2 other surgeries on 1 knee. The transplant alone has killed many careers, and with reports of Lonzo not being able to stand, walk, or let alone run or play basketball, his prospects look dim. And while he aims to come back showing inklings of his progression, and I genuinely pray that he does, at this current moment, he may be the biggest bust in NBA history. Maybe other than his compatriot Markelle Fultz, but there may still be time for him detailed in this video here. If you like the video, like the video. If you don't subscribe if you want. Let me know who's the worst team, the 2019 Lakers or 2018 Cavs, and I'm done. Okay, bye.